even family members, man, look at you in a different way just because they have more than you. And I was like, okay. One day, I promised myself, I'm going to work hard. I'll be somebody. And my family is not going to have to go through what I went through. And look at me now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I own 2 properties. I got a career. If you would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago that one day I will be who I am right now, I would have said, nah, you're crazy, man. What are you smoking?
Welcome to the Next Steps Podcast, a podcast for youth exploring diverse opportunities and experiences in their career goals. I am your interim host.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Cameron is normally going to be here, but I am here today.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Adam. I am the founder of the Youth Center.
And
Co-founder.
I'm your co-host, Sheila, from Sector 7. And so if you've listened to our introductory episode, you'll know that we've started a podcast. This is our first episode. Yeah, so today we have our guest today is Chuco. He's a carpenter foreman for DPR. Welcome.
Nice to meet you guys.
We're so excited to have you here. So, you know, normally what we do is we kind of just do a few get to know you questions just so the audience can get a feel for you. So our first question, most controversial, is what's your favorite breakfast cereal?
I would say Honey Bunch.
Really?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Honey Bunches of Oats. Yeah, that is a good one, actually.
That's my son's. He loves Honey Bunches of Oats.
Yeah, that's the one where it's got like basically the cornflakes, right? And then bunches in there.
The bunch, yeah.
That's the key.
The honey
That
bunch.
is-
The honey bunches.
Yeah.
But you know my problem with that cereal a little bit is that the flakes float and then the bunches sink.
Or mix it up with fruit.
Oh, really? Fresh fruit?
Yeah.
I feel like Honey Bunches of Oats, though, it is one of those cereals that will just rip up the top of your mouth.
Yeah.
Just destroy the top of your mouth.
Especially because I like to eat it fast before it gets soggy. So
yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah. Okay, that's a good answer. Adam?
I can ask the second one.
Yeah.
What's your favorite superhero?
Who?
Who's your favorite superhero?
Well,
What? What? Who?
growing up, I was Spider-Man.
Yes.
I grew up watching cartoons and always a Spider-Man.
Yes. Spider-Man's a good one. After I first saw the Tobey Maguire ones, like for weeks, I was like, shooting the webs. Do you still like Spider-Man?
I do. Even today, I still watch Spider-Man movies with my sons, especially my little one.
Oh, yeah.
Once in a while.
The 90s cartoon.
Oh, yeah.
That's peak Spider-Man. Greatest Spider-Man.
I think that's got to be such a great thing to be a dad and then have not necessarily a son, but like a kid, you know, that you get to just like pass down your nerdy superhero love for.
Oh, it's amazing.
And watch them love Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. It's so fun.
And Chuco, what is your hometown?
Well, I was born in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I came up here when I was barely turning 18.
Oh, okay.
So I'm 42 right now. So half of my life, I grew up in the United States.
Oh, cool. And where in the United States you grew up?
Been in Napa County, and from Napa, I moved to Fairfield, and now I moved to Winters.
Oh, okay.
But I've been in Northern California because my job is here.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when you were a kid, you moved to Napa?
Yeah, when I came here first time, I came to Napa, California, Napa Valley, because my cousin was living there at the time. And I left Mexico to have a better opportunities and the American dream pretty much.
Cool.
So my cousin kind of like told me, come over, you can stay here. And that's where my, I would say my career starts.
Oh, cool.
So you came over for work?
Well, I came over for work and also go to school.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be a biologist.
Oh.
Growing up, I always wanted to be a biologist, but because the part that I'm from in Mexico and the resources, we don't really have it right in there. The town that I'm from is a big town that they don't have oceans around, so I have to go to another city or another state, and all that costs money. So growing up, my family wasn't like economical. I don't have the support to cover the cost of me traveling from one state to another. And when my cousin told me that I can come up here, I was like, that's a good opportunity because I can work, make money, and also complete my dream. And I never finished my dream that I want to be a biologist,
Right.
because I started working in construction, and I was like, you know what, I'm making money, and I'm able to support my family. My family is in a better hands now, economical, because through me, they're willing to have better stuff. Whatever we don't have growing up, now I'm able to support them.
Right.
I think it's a perfect transition to what this podcast is about. We're talking to young people like young Chuco, and in very similar circumstances to you. We're dealing with a lot of immigrant children, a lot of immigrant youth, a lot of youth from this neighborhood that don't have opportunities like, they don't have the opportunities to become a marine biologist or whatever they want, Yeah. And so part of the reason we're doing this podcast, right, is to teach kids that it doesn't have to be the leftover choice to get into construction, to get into the trades, but that the trades can be a tool to help you achieve your dreams.
Exactly, to change your life around.
Yeah.
And make the difference by taking the right move, make the right choices, or suffer for the rest of your life because you just think that you can do it or it's not for you. I mean, it's opportunities for everybody. Some people think that, because like you say, I'm an immigrant and I'm not from here, they don't have the opportunities for us. It is opportunities for us. It just depends who's your mentor. It also depends who you reach out to.
Yeah. So did you have somebody who mentored you into the trades?
Well, when I came here, I was barely 18. I started as a roofer because my cousin used to work for a roofing company that delivers materials. So that was kind of like my sponsor to not so much as a sponsor, but he was like at the bridge for me to start working right away.
Oh, right.
And I was working and working and working. And something about me, I always want more. I don't really settle for less. If I see the opportunities there, I'm the kind of guy that, you know what, I'm gonna go big or go home because the opportunity is there. If it's meant for me, it's meant for me. And I'm a firm believer in the destiny. Things happen not just because, things happen for a reason. So I see the opportunity was there, and I jumped from being a roofer to start remodeling motorhomes and manufactured homes with a guy that, thanks to the man, Mr. Wade Brown, rest in peace, he kind of pushed me to go to the union because he noticed that I was having a baby pretty soon. And he asked me do you plan to do this for the rest of your life, or you want to do better for you and your family also, because it's not up to you no more. Now you have a baby in the way. So go to the union. Even though I was helping him because I was his own business, he's like, I will hate to lose you because you're a good hard worker, but I want the best for you, and I see that you got potential to grow. And apparently with me, you're not gonna go any further because I'm too old, and as soon as I die, what's the chance that you're gonna continue doing this or go back to be a roofer? And he's like, check this out, start doing your research to the unions, local unions. And that's kind of, he put it through my mind. There is more than just be a roofer out there. All you gotta do your homework and keep knocking doors. And that's why I ended up in a union as a carpenter. And I started back in 2007. I signed up with the union, and since then it's 2025, and I'm still the union.
Wow.
I'm going for almost 20 years.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So, did you want to say anything? Or?
No, I was just going to say, tell us a little bit about your job as a carpenter now.
Yeah, excuse me. Well, the thing I like about construction is because you never stop learning. Every day, like I say, I'm in my almost 20 years on the career, right? I need 30 years to retire with the food, pension, benefits, and other stuff. I'm 42. I'll be there by 50, 55. I'll be able to retire with a good pension.
Right.
And still be able to work in a different job site if I wanted. So by me working in construction every day is like an adventure because you don't know what to expect. Even though you have the skills and you have the experience, but every day is something new.
Right.
the beauty of the construction zone, because regardless be a carpenter, plumber, electrician, labor, painter, whatever, any construction job site, any construction skills is gonna be, for me, it's excited because it's not like a repetition thing that you get bored. You never get bored in construction because it's always something. You're always doing something different.
It's like a different job, a different building, or even if you're on the same site every single day, you could be doing something different.
What's the coolest thing you've ever built?
Oh man, that's a hard one, because on my almost 20 years of my career, I used to be a bridge builder. So back in 2008, 9, I was a part of building the new Bay Bridge in Oakland, San Francisco Bay Bridge.
Oh, cool.
So I was part of the
That's a beautiful bridge.
Yeah, I was part of the new Bay Bridge.
That's cool.
That was my first biggest project that I worked on. And then after that one, I jumped right after to Transbay Terminal. Transbay Terminal is in San Francisco downtown, and that terminal is gonna host the train, the bullet train. That is gonna be coming from San Diego all the way to Sacramento.
Is that the one with the park on top?
Yeah, that's the one.
That's dope.
Wait, are they really doing that? Building that bullet train?
Well, it is a station right there already built.
Very cool.
It's six floors below.
Oh wow.
Street level, and 4 floors above street level.
That's so cool.
And when I complete the job site, I just jump over next door and start building Salesforce Tower, the biggest building in the East Coast.
Oh yeah.
And that's so cool about being in construction is you get to be like, yeah, I worked on that. This beautiful building and this beautiful bridge.
That was super cool because that was super high, super tall. Then when we have the Blue Angel show, the fleet show, literally I was able to see the pilot far away.
Yeah.
We was like so high up that you can see the pilots coming to you.
Yeah.
That's
super
crazy.
They're doing a lot of construction over there. Like I just went to a Giants game like last year, and they put in that whole light rail that's like in between the BART and the street. You're like, how did they even find the room for a whole another train? Is crazy.
Yeah, construction is exciting, but it's crazy. Sometimes it's
so crazy.
So you're a carpenter, right?
Yes.
So tell us like what is exactly what's carpentry compared to the other trades?
Like I say, carpentry is huge. You can be a finished carpenter and do cabinets, do crown moldings, baseboards, these kind of furnitures, tables, desk, or you can be what we call rough carpentry, that you do concrete forms, you do skyscrapers, you do bridges, because all construction in general has something to do with carpentry.
Right.
Rather, is finished carpentry. Like right now, the project that I'm working right now, 48X, is at UC Davis Hospital. The biggest, I believe, is the biggest surgery hospital on Northern California. It's gonna host like 17 OR rooms.
Wow.
Normally, each hospital or regular hospital has like 4.
A couple, yeah.
Oh wow.
This one has like 17 just for surgery.
Wow, that's incredible.
And that one, we do rough carpentry when we have to put concrete. But now that we're in the second phase, there goes a rough phase, middle phase, and like last phase. Last phase is when you start putting the hospital equipments. Mm-hmm. So every carpentry work they have to be performed from now and to the end of the hospital is going to be finished carpentry, which is case work, the desk, where the nurse is going to be stationed, and all the stuff, like all the details and appliances. It's still carpentry, but it's in the final phase of the construction.
Oh, okay.
Before that is nothing but rough carpentry, plywood, 2x4s, 2x6s.
Yeah, like framing.
Yeah. And that's just to hold the concrete in place.
Sure. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I used to do some very rough carpentry. We would go down to, with another organization I was with, we'd go down to Mexico and build houses.
Yeah.
But like the houses, were like sheds.
Yeah.
Very, very rough, not finished carpentry at all.
Nothing fancy,
No.
just 2x4s, plywood, insulation, and walk away.
Yeah.
So with carpentry, it's almost like, okay, so there's like people who do, the electrical, the plumbing, the air conditioner and stuff. And then like basically everything else almost is like done by the carpenters.
Well, no, the carpenters is just carpentry. The electricians, they do the electrician work and the plumbers, but it's a sequence. It's a sequence. So we go. That's what I'm saying. It's a rough phase, middle phase, and the last phase of the project, like the finishes. So once we do our carpentry, our concrete slabs, and all the walls, framing, and everything, the electricians jump in.
They
and
come in.
And they start running their cables, the conduits, the pipes. So do the plumbers. They start putting the pipes, water hoses, and fire alarms. It's like a chain.
And then carpenters come back in and do
We close it up.
close it up.
We close the walls, put drywall. We close the wall. I mean, you close one side of the wall, put insulation, put drywall, and the painters show up and start painting, and the carpenters show up again and start putting
right.
the moldings
Okay.
because it's getting to the end.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the carpenters are doing a lot of the work.
Carpenters are like, it's anything with wood, right?
Yeah.
Anything wood related would be carpentry.
Gotta be wood and gotta be appliances and handrails, door frames, hanging doors. It's still a carpentry trade because
Okay. Yeah.
even like us, I'm a carpenter foreman, and I QC, like quality control, the crew, the works for DPR also, but they just concentrate on doors.
Okay.
So each room that is ready to put the door, I will get with the foreman and say, hey, this room are ready to swap the doors, temporary doors for the final ones.
Oh, right.
And as soon as they put the final door, that's when only the people that is allowed to go inside the rooms, they have to have the key because it's not a regular key. So that way to prevent trade damages. That's how you have a control and who's going inside, who's coming out of the room. And if it's any trade damage, you know who was there before the other person.
Oh, right.
So it's easy to identify because now we get into the end.
That's a lot of moving pieces,
It's a
like
lot.
keeping all that
Oh my gosh.
in line.
I think
Yeah.
it just blows my mind how many people it takes to
Yeah.
just
Oh
build
yeah, it's a lot of people.
build a building.
Yeah.
Just
And then
to-
a big building.
just
And
to-
then like a hospital with surgical stuff, right? The air that comes in and out is all different.
And that's the thing. Construction is good, but also it's huge because, like you just mentioned it, the hospital, it all depends. Like this building right now, it requires a different kind of inspections and fire marshals regulations.
The codes are
The
different. and all
codes is
that.
different.
Yeah.
And the hospital, you have to go with different codes, different inspections, different materials. I mean, it's a big difference, a different, it's just different.
You mentioned at the beginning that when you were in Mexico, you wanted to be a marine biologist, but your family couldn't send you to the coast, or it was your family was too poor to go to the coast. Is that right?
Well, the thing is, that was one of the reasons why, because it costs, everything in Mexico is money. And if you don't have the money, it's almost impossible.
Right.
So it's either should I pay rent and feed my kids, or use the money to send my guy to a different state that he don't have any family, and who knows how he's gonna be up there by himself at the age of 13, 14 years old. And
So-
also, my dad being in the system in and out. So I ended up with a beautiful mother of 3 children. I was the oldest. My mom always worked. Sometimes she even worked like she picks double shifts just to have enough money to support us. So I have to stay in charge of my little brother and my little sister. So you see that if I leave, I'm gonna leave my mom by herself. Who's gonna look over my little brothers?
Yeah, it's
So
tough.
that was
Yeah.
kind of hard.
That's tough. But then you got into carpentry,
Yes.
and carpentry's kind of been a pathway out. Now, do you have a family now?
Yeah, I got a wife and 2 kids.
Great. And so tell us about how carpentry, how the trades have helped you change your fate, change where you were at, where, when you were this kid in Mexico, you were taking care of your family. You couldn't follow your dream. Tell us about the opportunities now that you got into carpentry, the opportunities that you have.
Well, I'm blessed, man. All I can say is I'm blessed. I'm really grateful because I got a beautiful wife. I got 2 kids. My oldest is in the Navy right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he just enlisted the Navy like 6 months ago. He's in San Diego.
Oh, cool.
My little one is 11 years old. He wanted to be a YouTuber. Even though I told my son,
Every kid wants to be a YouTuber.
yeah,
I swear it.
even though I told my son, no, either you're gonna be a doctor like your mom, or you're gonna be a lawyer, because we're gonna need a lawyer in the family pretty soon. And he's like, no, I'll be a YouTuber. But yeah, man, by me working in construction, especially in carpentry, I didn't complete the dream that I wanted growing up, but I was able to complete the dream that it was not like a dream, it was more like a challenge to myself, that I will provide whatever I don't have growing up to my families.
Yeah.
Help my mom, see my brother and my sister growing up without having the need to go and look for work, hustle, trying to like, how can I say this? It's kind of sad, but yeah. Humiliate yourself just to have opportunities. People put you down. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Even family members, man, look at you in a different way just because they have more than you. And I was like, okay. One day, I promised myself, I'm going to work hard. I'll be somebody. And my family is not going to have to go through what I went through. And look at me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I went to properties. I got a career. If you would have told me 10 years ago or 15 years ago that one day I will be who I am right now, I would have said, nah, you're crazy, man. What are you smoking? Look at me now.
Yeah.
And February 22nd, my boss just called me right now. I got to attend to a foreman's meeting in Newport Beach. They're going to send me to get training.
Nice.
They really like me. They see that I got potential to grow more and more. So the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Now I'm in a different position. I don't have to like walk and take a look over my shoulder every 3 steps I do. I don't have to hide from nobody. All I do is the right way. I don't own nothing. I feel like I'm a good role model for my kids. And I got proof because my oldest, he went to the Navy. He knows how it is. I mean, I'm hard with my kids because I don't want them to take the wrong path. But also, besides being their dad, I'm more like his friends. And I told my kids the way it is. They look at me now. Things, construction changed my life. On the way that, like I say, money-wise, yeah, it did change my life big time. Here in the United States and Southern Mexico, because now I'm able to do what I got to do, be happy, enjoy my life. I can go to Mexico. I own properties in Mexico. I own properties over here. So I was like, yeah, it wasn't easy, I tell you that. But now the opportunity is there. All you need to do, don't give up, keep knocking on the doors, trying to find the right mentor, the right resource that is going to believe in you and give you the help that you need just to move forward without doubting yourself. Because I doubt myself big time. Couple times I wanted to give up and go back to Mexico.
Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, that's a beautiful story. Thank you so much for sharing. I think and I think you're really reaching why we're wanting to do this podcast is because when I grew up, middle-class kid in the United States, and the message I got all the time was, you have to go to college, you have to go to college, you have to go to college. And I went to college, and I had a good time, and I got an education. But I went into the soft sciences, and I went into social work and all of that, and you don't get paid to do that, and I look at my brother-in-law who, my father-in-law was in the trades, was in construction his whole life. My brother-in-law didn't like school. School wasn't for him. He tried college for a couple of years, and he's like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to become a mechanic. Got a job, not telling my father-in-law. He got a job at the same construction company. Now my brother-in-law is being looked at to be like a vice president and all this stuff and all this crazy stuff, and all because he got into the trades. And it's a similar story to you. And he's just done incredible. But the message we got as kids was, you have to go to college. now the message that kids in this neighborhood are getting is, you know, sports is your only way out, or becoming a YouTuber is your only way out, right?
Yeah.
Or becoming TikTok famous or whatever. Like, that's going to be your way out. Well, that's not realistic. You know, like, sure, you could be a great basketball player, but, you know, only the top of the top of the top percent get into the NBA. You're not going to make a living like that, but you can make a living doing the hard work.
Yeah.
And you can make an amazing living, and you can support your family and meet your dreams. And I think your story illustrates that in such a beautiful way.
It really
Thank you.
does. And I think we touched on it a little bit, Chuco, earlier, but can you tell us a little bit your path into carpentry? I know that you were saying you were a roofer and then you got into the union.
Mm-hmm.
And so did you just learn how to be a carpenter like by joining the union, or what's the path if someone wanted to be a carpenter?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a process. The moment I sign up through the union to be a carpenter, but you have to be an apprentice carpenter, which they send you to school for 4 years. On those 4 years, you go every 3 months. And used to working, you go to work, but every 3 months, they send you an email. Or back in the day, it was just a mail. Now everything is updated. But anyways, I used to tell my foreman or my superintendent, like, look, next week, I got to attend to class. I got this class coming up. And they have to let you go because that's part of the program.
So you were working on a job site as a carpenter?
Yes, as apprentice carpenter.
As an apprentice carpenter, okay.
And the thing that helped me, since I was in Mexico, like I say, growing up, rough childhood, my dad being there and all that stuff, so I have to like be responsible at an early age and start working. So I was working in construction down in Mexico at the age of 13, 14 years old. And when I came over here, that was easy for me to like adapt and kind of like just get used to it. Getting more pay, I was like, well, even better. Mm-hmm. So when I went to construction, which is carpentry, I kind of have the idea how to use the hammer, how to use the skill saw, how to use this, the ladders and stuff like that. All I need is to use it the right way. Because just because I was using my way, that doesn't mean that I was using it the right way. Mm-hmm. Or identify the tools and the lumber that we use. Because I noticed that until today, wherever you work, it's a different ball game.
Right.
So you go as an apprentice. My case went as an apprentice for 4 years. So every 3 months I go to school for 1 week, Monday to Friday. If I pass everything, I go back to the job site, which is a Monday. And the follow class, that's when you jump periods. On an apprentice program is 9 periods, which is 4 years. You have to have 4,800 hours and complete the 8 periods. Yeah, complete the 8 periods on the school and the program. So nowadays it's a little different. Now they have the pre-apprentice program. The pre-apprentice is like a boot camp. You go for, I believe, 8 to 12 weeks. I'm not too sure if it's 8 or 12, but those 8 or 12 weeks, you cannot work as an apprentice carpenter because you don't even finish. You haven't passed from pre-apprentice to apprentice. The reason they do that because a lot of contractors or companies were complaining that they don't have the skills enough to be working with the regular carpenters or regular workers. So what they do, they train you in how to use the gradles, how to use the scissor lift, how to use the boom lift, how to use the tools that you're gonna be using on the field. So as soon as you transition, as soon as you make that transition from a pre-apprentice to apprentice, you already have the knowledge of how to use these tools and how to drive these heavy equipments, and you have you certifications. So that's easier for you, and it looks better because whoever is gonna give you a job, you have all these trainings that the company don't have to pay for those trainings because the union already offer you those trainings.
Right. Okay. So, and is it just because maybe kids today just don't have that that pre-knowledge, or because like you didn't have to do the pre-apprentice, right?
Oh, back in the days.
Oh, they just didn't do it. Okay.
Yeah.
You were saying it didn't exist, right? There was no pre-apprentice?
Well, back in the days, they don't have the pre-apprentice.
Yeah.
That's just new. It's like me. When I signed up for the union, I signed up for 30 years to retire with a full pension. Now, I think after 2016 it changed. Now you need 35 years to retire. Same thing with the apprentice and the pre-apprentice. Back in the days when I signed up, 2007, we don't have to go through the pre-apprentice program. Now you do. But to me, it's good because when you finish the pre-apprentice and you just enroll to the apprentice award, which is apprentice carpenter, you show up to the job site and you are more valuable because you have the skills that some journeymen don't even have. Because I was an apprentice, and after 6 months, 8 months being an apprentice working on the Bay Bridge, I come out to be a lead guy. So the foreman really liked the way I work. So he got me as a lead guy. So other carpenters, they have like 10 years in the trade, more than 10 years. They used to get mad at me because I was just barely like 19, 20. I was telling them what to do.
Yeah.
And they're like, how can this guy, he's an apprentice, telling me if I have like 10 years over him?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean.
Yeah.
Just because it take you 10 years to be who you are, it might take me 2 years to be your level or above your level.
Right.
And that's pretty much what happened. Is construction is everybody learns different.
Oh, right.
Everybody has different skills. Everybody's like, a lot of people like to put hands on to learn fast. A lot of people is book smart.
Oh, right. It's just different.
It's different. It so depends.
So then after you do the 4 years of the apprentice, then you just become what?
Journeyman carpenter.
So you're a carpenter. So to do the pre-apprentice now, is it, so do people just like find the union and be like, hey, I want to work in construction or I want to be a carpenter. And then they basically send you to this like pre-apprentice thing, or do people find pre-apprentice programs?
Well, what it is, like Sacramento has a union local. A local union, right? Bay Area has another local union. So Sacramento's area 2, Bay Area's area 1. So it so depends. If you want to be working in Northern California, which is Sacramento area, you reach out to the local unions around you, and they have a list of the jobs that are coming up, the ones that are about to finish, and you just spoke to them like, look, I want to be a carpenter, and I want to know what it takes for me to sign up and be a carpenter. And I believe nowadays they need high school diploma at least. Back in the days, it wasn't necessary because I don't even have a high school diploma. When I joined the carpentry, union carpentry, I didn't even have a high school diploma.
Oh, okay.
So I think now it requires a high school diploma.
Okay.
But it's a programs. The moment you sign up to the union, local union where you're from, you can be any local union. And you just look it up in Google. What is the local unions, carpenter local unions, plumbers, or electricians, and they will tell you where the unions are. And you just go and sign up. And they guide you. They step by step, well, you need to do this, you need to do that. And if you have all the things that they requires, you just have to pay. Each local is different, but I think it's like $20 a month for being a member.
Oh, okay.
So that's the union dues. They call union dues. So you pay $20 a month. Some other locals, like San Francisco local, 22. I think they charge you like almost $40. But
But they have more resources.
No, I mean, I don't even know why they charge more because it's expensive to be there. But
They're like, we're San Francisco, we just charge more.
But it used to be 18, now it's 20. But anyways, the moment you enroll to the union, they give you the breakdown. Like, look, after 6 months being in a good standing and being in the program, you're gonna have benefits, and they give you. It's either, I believe, Kaiser or Blue Cross. You pick one, and you're gonna have a vacation check every year, and that's based on your working hours. If you work 1,000 hours, they're gonna go by 1,000 hours working hours, and they take money out of your own paycheck. It's like a savings that they have for you.
Oh.
So every year, February 2nd, they direct deposit whatever money you have in your vacation hours, or they send you a check, hard copy check.
Oh, wow.
And you're able to insure your family.
Right.
Because you are a union member. You have to pay to insure your family, which is dental and regular like Kaiser or Blue Cross.
Right.
So
that's crazy.
I think we're getting close on time. I just wanted to finish up with a question. If you could time travel back to 18-year-old Chuco and tell him anything, you know, he's looking for a job in the United States or whatever. Like there's 18-year-olds just like you out in the youth center. What would you tell them? What would you tell yourself?
Well, my message that I would talk to the youth, males and females, don't give up. If you really want to do something with your life, don't worry about what people tell you that, oh, no, that's not for you, or that's hard, or this is just for this. No, man, because every choice that you make is going to have a consequence, either good consequence or bad consequence. You can make poor choices and get stupid prices. So I will tell you, just do your research. Everything is in the internet now. You can just go on Google and research what's the highest paid, what requires to be part of the program, and look around your surroundings. Back in, like a couple years ago, all the construction used to be in the Bay Area. San Francisco was #1 construction. So now everybody's moving to Sacramento. So in the next 10 years, Sacramento is going to be the new San Francisco because we have the land. San Francisco is too crowded. They cannot build anymore. Everything is too crowded. It's full.
Yeah.
So now look around Northern California, Sacramento area, and everything around here. We have nothing but land. They're going to start building and building and building. Why? Because it's cheaper to buy land, and we have the place. We have the land. We have the real estate. So never too late. It's just keep thinking positive and remember there is more than one way to skin the cat.
That's awesome. Thank you, Chuco.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
We really appreciate
Anytime.
it. I think there's some students who will
Honestly, there's some good
benefit
stuff.
from your story and hearing what the trades have done for you.
Yeah. Well, like I said, thank you for having me here. And I hope my testimony is going to help others to encourage them with jobs opportunities. And if you was doubting yourself to do this, to do that, now you know it's possible. If I was able to make it happen, look at me now.
Look at you now.
Exactly. Started from the bottom, now I'm here.
I think on that's a perfect ending.
Yes. Thanks, Chuco.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.